Hell here, late night. Let's go. Woo.
It's what? It's 12:36.
12:36 on a late night tip.
Late night.
Late night.
Working, man.
We working.
Can you hear me good? Can you hear me good? Okay, for sure.
Bet that. Hell yeah.
I Mr. Chain Taker, stupid bitch breaker. Deuce up in a wine glass, shout out to the waiter. Kitty everything and I ain't get it from the mayor. Get your weight up, rather ball out from a distance, it's a layup.
And we're back at the definition of active. You know I'm sitting right here. It's Daylight Premium, this bitch, skirt skiggity. Got my brother here with me, man. The one and only Jay fucking WOP. JV's on. How you doing, my G?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. How you doing, my nigga?
Good, bro. I'm good,
yes, sir.
bro.
Good to hear that. Good to hear that.
See you hair, braided hair long.
You know what I'm saying? Flourishing.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Corduroy out. How you feeling, bro?
I feel good, bro. I feel good. I feel like I'm finally like stepping into not only just like my own, but like really embracing like my comfortability with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel better than I ever have, like musically.
So we're gonna get to that too. We're gonna talk about the progress from 12-17 to Corduroy. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk, because it's growth on each project and shit, and you can definitely hear it and shit. So first we'll start out with your name. Like, how did you come up with your name, Jay WOP? Where did it come from?
So it's a mixture of two things. So how I solidified it, but how I came up with it was Isaiah Rashad. Like Isaiah Rashad, one of his monikers is, you know what I'm saying, Jay WOP or whatever it is. And somebody else actually like kind of started calling me that just because like at that time when like Sylvia demo and shit came out, that was like right around the time that I had discovered, you know, Isaiah Rashad, and that was like such a transcendent time like for myself, like as a person, and eventually would become like an artist, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was on that shit so heavy. That was like right around the time I got my first whip and stuff like that. So it was like if I was pulling up, you know what I'm saying, you know, Sylvia demo, you know what I'm saying, or like shit like Preacher's Son by, you know what I'm saying, Tut, that Isaiah was on, a lot of stuff. I was on that wave super tough. So like my cousin started calling me that shit, and then I just I also remembered, you know what I'm saying, just like the significance that like Lauryn Hill had like in my household, like doo-wop, that thing and stuff like that. So that was like another like solidifying factor for me to where it was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. But I really got that shit from Isaiah.
That's fire.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're not originally from Arizona. Where you from? No,
I am from Tacoma, Washington. You know, the section that is known as Hilltop. It's a specific area, you know what I'm saying, in the city of Tacoma, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where I'm from. I feel like that's where I got a lot of my step and who it is that I am from that section. So I'm always gonna put on from there, but I'm always gonna put on for Arizona at the same time. Salute, you know what I'm saying?
Salute. How is it making that transition from a different place and establishing yourself in another state? And like, it isn't even just in Arizona, you've done it in California as well. So like, you actually kind of like really good at it. So how is it when you go to different places? Like, is it something you've done your whole life, or did you just start when you got older and like made that first leap to AZ first and then to Cali?
So moving was like, that was kind of like the theme of like my entire childhood. Like I think I went to 13 or 14 schools.
Damn.
My whole life. Like I went to a lot of schools. You know what I'm saying? So I moved a lot. So adapting to change is necessary. It's not necessarily something that I was opposed to. I didn't always like it, you know what I'm saying, or wasn't always the most comfortable with it, but I was never opposed to change. So I feel like I didn't get acclimated at all with the music side of you know what I'm saying, the state of Washington, whether it's Seattle or Tacoma, at all until like late, like literally like a couple years into my rap career, you know what I'm saying? It was just literally just knowing the family, knowing the city, being able to drive out there without no GPS and shit. But those time periods were kind of like going to all of those schools and having that first experience of trying to get reacclimated with the music scene in the city that I'm from. Those were the time periods that got me the most comfortable with that. So by the time I felt like I was comfortable with trying to conquer that, going to LA, it was just kind of like doing the same thing, but at a bigger scale, you know, and just learning more.
What do you feel like? I don't mean. I can't wait to hear your answer to this question. I feel like I know the answer. But like, what scene do you feel like was harder to like establish yourself in?
What scene?
Yeah, I mean, you're still establishing yourself in both places, but what do you feel like are the differences, like the biggest notable differences between L.A., Arizona, and Washington? You know what I'm saying? All three of them, because I know you still make sure you step in all three states.
Oh yeah. The hardest thing is probably the hardest place has definitely been Phoenix. It's definitely been Phoenix, like without a doubt.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
It's not at all to say that, you know what I'm saying, that there ain't people in the city that like that don't love my music or don't support me or whatever it is. I'm not saying that, but let's put it this way. I feel like it's a lot harder to support like somebody. Let's just say I graduated high school with you, right? Mm-hmm. And then a year later, I start rapping. You went to high school with me for like the last couple years, and you just know me as who I am in third period or whatever it is, yada, yada, yada. So it's kind of hard for you to take what I'm doing serious just because everybody does this. Like the hometown is always like, not always, because you got niggas like you know what I'm saying, that are fucking championed. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, and as you should be, that are championed in the city. But for me, it's kind of like been the opposite. It's been the opposite of just like you gotta win over other places. You know what I'm saying, and then try to win over home, as one of like the last missions of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta make I felt like I've kind of had to make myself boom a little bit in other places outside of home for me to be taken serious.
You feel like that's motivating?
Hell yeah.
I feel like that's a superpower.
Hell yeah, bro. Yeah. I'm like Draymond Green with this shit. Like for real. Now fuck that. I'm like Mike. Like if you watched The Last Dance, that little like I took it personal segment, you always use shit like that to fuel me because like I said, since the beginning, like I felt like I had a gift. Like I felt like I was him. You know what I'm saying? But it was just
that confidence was always there.
It was always, even if I didn't show it, you know what I'm saying? It was always in me. You know what I'm saying?
The first time I saw a taste of that confidence was the Bitches video. But when I saw it all come together, like when I'm like, oh, this, like WOP's gonna be here for a long time. You know what I'm saying? His music is timeless. It ain't just like a wave. It ain't like him trying to be like other people. Like he's really just like telling his life, and it's like fly as fuck how he spits it, and like you lyrically dope. You know what I'm saying? So like going from Bitches to like 1217, like tell me what the mindset was making that project.
All music is it's just kind of like a snapshot of a moment in time. How you feeling? You know what I'm saying? So the way I learned that like artistry works, you could record a song, you know what I'm saying, and make something because of what you're going through or what might have inspired that day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then 2 days later, you could be on a totally different wave. So those were not exactly in the same time frame, but they were in the same year. So to me, all that speaks to is just what you can go through. You know what I'm saying? Like a full year's like time span. Like you have records like Bitches or whatever it is. Whatever I was going through in that time inspired that. Like it inspired that record. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something in that time frame that I was going through inspired that record. Excuse me. But then shortly after, you got a whole project like 1217, which is a lot darker, which is not about anything like in the realm associated with, you know what I'm saying, the joint that we talking about. Like
very vulnerable too. 1217 was extremely vulnerable, bro.
But that 1217, that was the point that I made a decision to move a different direction in my career. Like I had really legitimately decided, okay, I'm not going to try to make the music that I feel like people want to hear or whatever it is. I'm just going to make music based off of how I feel. If I decide I want to create today or whatever it is, this is just all going to be based off of how I feel right now.
And I feel like you coming out of like and being comfortable with that like vulnerability that you're already showing and being so confident to showing it off to other people like yo, this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like the feeling I get from Suede. And like Suede smooth. Suede sound like you ready, like you. To me, it's like when someone gets drafted first round. That's what Suede reminded me of. And Corduroy is like your rookie year.
The funny thing is 1217 is my most serious project. Like I was saying, like at that point I decided, okay, you know what, I'm gonna move in a different direction with my music and how I approach this whole thing. So with doing that and turning into this new chapter and this whole quote unquote rebrand, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna start everybody at the beginning and then we're just gonna go from there. You know what I'm saying? So 1217 was the beginning of like the acceptance to change, just the same thing that we was talking about. You know what I'm saying? It was the acceptance to change and being willing to grow with your time spent as being an artist. You know what I'm saying? And just allowing yourself to explore more. So 1217 was just kind of like the you know what I'm saying, like the flagship to just kind of like start where I wanted to start to go with things. But then when you get to Suede is literally my least serious project of all. Like Suede,
fun.
the whole name of it just came of like I made I came up with the name before I even made the project, just because I knew what direction that I wanted to go in.
That's fire.
You know, like
that never happens like that usually either.
But
that's some rare shit. You knew exactly the way you wanted to go with it though.
Right. I knew what I had an idea. I knew what I wanted to do. So it was like, okay. So with the last project that I just dropped, it was super serious, and a lot of women don't like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't just play that at any. You have to be in a certain mood to play music like that. Do you want that
female fan base?
Yeah, bro. I'm a nigga that pays attention and plays very close to my analytics. And if I go and look at my numbers and I see I got 70%, you know what I'm saying, males listening to me and 19% females, that lets me know, okay, I'm lacking something in the shit that I'm putting out that females don't want to hear. So Suede, that was my attempt at getting more females invested into the type of music that I was making.
How'd that work out for you?
It worked out a lot better. It worked out a lot better than 1217 did, just in the aspect of I felt like I made more records that women would like to play. You know what I'm saying? And the one that took me the least amount of time to make is the biggest song on the project, like the self-titled one, Suede.
That's crazy.
Shit took me 15 minutes to write, and it's the biggest song on the project.
What's your process when you're making music? Do you make the melodies first? Do you like write the song first and then find a beat to it? Or do you listen to the beat and vibe out to it and then write? Like how? What's your process?
I personally feel like it is scary and borderline criminal to write songs without any beat. Like unless you're like you just thought of something crazy like yo, this 4 bars that I just came up with is insane and I'm gonna be able to fit this into something. I gotta write this down. But if you're like writing full length songs with no beat, that's scary. You might be a psychopath. But see, listen, in the realm, there's people that are psychopaths, but they're geniuses. You know what I'm saying? So nigga, I'm not one of those people. I could definitely say that. So like my process definitely comes down to 2 to 3 things. Like for one, how I'm feeling that day, where I feel like production wise I'm swaying. But now even with like this project and like half of the last one, but mostly this last one, I feel like this is my best music to date. And excuse me, I made all of that shit on the spot, basically, like in the studio. We would go to sessions and I wouldn't want to hear any of the beats or anything like that until I got to the session, because wherever it was that my mind took me first, I'm just starting to learn to just trust wherever my first mind takes me. Like usually that's the best place to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? We hear this crazy story all the time that one of Michael Jackson's records got mixed fucking 93 times or something like that, and they went with the second mix.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So I'm just starting to learn to trust my first mind. So we'll go out here, we might get a beat pack of like 10 beats or something like that, and I hear 4 of them in there that I'm like, oh, I could for sure make something to this. And then we just go through them. So this first one come on, wherever my mind take me first, we're gonna make a song based off of that. But then there's also times to where we could go into a session and we ain't even heard none of the beats yet, but we'll literally write on the board, we want to make a song called this, or we want to make a song called this. Now let's go through the beat pack and see if anything fits that. Like we just
That's crazy.
we work like that sometimes.
Wow, did you get a song on 2K?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely did. Definitely did.
How is it going through that? Like, 'cause I feel like we had some dope milestones so far. You know what I'm saying? Being able to sell out in 3 different states is major. That's major. That's some shit that having that accolade lets you know that's one of the things that lets you know you're meant to do this. You know what I mean?
For sure.
The process of getting a song placed, how important and how dope is it for artists to get their music placed? How did you feel when you received that message and you're hearing your song in the game and shit?
Shit, when I received that message, it was unbelievable just because like, nigga, I'm an avid 2K player. Like I play 2K. Like, you know, I be going
Basketball's
hard.
a big part of you, huh?
Bruh, yeah, that's where everything started for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like 2K is, as a nigga that don't leave the house very much, I don't go out, I don't go to clubs or nothing like that. Nigga, I play 2K, I play online, I play my career and stuff like
What's your
that.
gamer tag so everybody can know what's up?
Same thing as my handle on everything, man. Jay WOP JV, JAYWOP JV. You know what I'm saying?
JV, talk about the JV.
JV consists of me and my brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? You got myself, you got my guy Dougie Drew over there in the cut. You know what I'm saying? More than likely rolling up. You got PK the Poet. PK the Poet is one of the most respected artists in the state of Arizona.
Salute to BK. We're gonna have him in here. We got a lot to talk to him
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. PK, he's one of the most respected artists in Arizona.
That's a fact.
You got Dopey Dope, who is
Salute to
who is
Dope.
also, you know what I'm saying, one of the most respected artists in Arizona. But aside from that, what people don't know is
He's a cold engineer.
he is an amazing engineer. You know what I'm saying? He is an amazing engineer. He's an amazing artist. You know what I'm saying? And he's in the same camp as me. You know what I'm saying?
He's like a life coach too, low key.
Bruh, that's my big brother. You know what I'm saying?
Man. We gonna get Dope in here too.
I've been blessed, bruh, just because 85% of the people that are in my camp, well, we're gonna say 95. 95% of the people in my camp, they are my big brothers. You know what I'm saying? You got Drew, you got PK, you got Dope. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, it's like you got my boy Flicks. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we've been locked in since the jump. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of music Flicks is making too? Y'all gang is fired. I had the blessing to be able to host one of their shows, and it was crazy the way the whole aesthetic was. Like, the setup was crazy. The music was obviously gonna be fire for sure, but y'all like had it set up to where you brought everybody into your world, man. Like, just the gear, just the style of the music, the ambiance. Like, I feel like you guys have a certain aura about all of you that makes you guys just a special like gift to hip hop, and like to see you hitting these milestones and going crazy. You know what I mean? Especially knowing that you like coming from Washington, going to Arizona, and you were like out here making noise. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? You was making noise. Then you go to Cali, you doing the same
I don't think
shit.
I was, but you know,
I'm a fan, so maybe I'm biased. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a person that watches for real, and like. When you watching for real, you respect the ones who are really hustling with it. Word to PK and to Doug, you know what I'm saying? They ain't about to co-sign nobody that's trash.
Hell no. Hell no.
That's a fact, you know what I'm saying? So, like, to see that and see that you actually, like, are living up to, like, that and more is fucking crazy. Was there a Netflix situation that happened as well too? Like, I know that you've been through like a couple of different things.
Yeah.
Especially like it's been pretty crazy. So like, can you talk about it? Is it cool?
Absolutely.
Talk about it, man. Talk about it.
So, Rhythm and Flow,
Yeah.
the Netflix series that everybody got familiar with. Shout out my nigga D Smoke. I got casted for Rhythm and Flow, and it was my first experience with like a Hollywood-esque type of situation.
How is that? How did that process go?
So the process just kind of went like, you know, they announced it. Everybody heard about it on social media the same way, you know, and then you submit your shit just like the rest of the world does, and you just kind of go from there. You don't hear nothing for like 2-3 months, just like I did in the situation, and then I just got a call one day. And it was an LA number, and at that time, I don't be in LA at all. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in LA at all. Wasn't before I moved out there. I wasn't out there at all. So I knew when I got a call from an LA number, I'm like, okay, this is something that matters. Something's just telling me this is something that matters. So I returned the call. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when I found out that they casted me for rhythm and flow. So, excuse me again. Fast forward a couple months, you know, we're actually at the filming and shit of the show. It was like a 14-hour shoot, like that day. But I ain't even gonna cap, bro. Like I got there, you know, they picked you up in a dope ass little like van service and shit. They had us.
There's a whole bunch of other artists around from all over the
yeah,
place.
yeah. My nigga Ali Dominique was there too. He was there
crazy.
too. He was there too. We flew in on the same flight.
How many artists are there?
From the city?
Not just period, like
30 people. 100,000 submissions and 30 people got selected for.
Hold on. So out of 100,000 submissions for rhythm, they picked 30 people, and you're one of the artists that got picked.
Yes, sir.
That's not for no reason, man.
Yes, sir. I was one of the 30 people that got picked, and you know, we got there and shit. You know, everything that I was pretty much just saying. You know, whoop whoop whoop. All of that shit goes on. We get to the day of filming. Lot of like rigorous shit was just kind of just going on. Just a lot of like film shit that you're probably not used to if you've never been like on like the set of a production. You know what I'm saying?
Have you wearing makeup and shit?
No. Right, I didn't get far enough to where it was doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I've definitely been on a set before to where they did a little bit of shit and they had to clean. Yeah, they had to clean the nigga up, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's business, man. It's just it's what you got to do. But I mean, we got to like the filming and all of that shit, and there was like a segment to where we was just all in the trailer and everybody was freestyling, and I feel like that was just kind of like the point in time there to where I kind of like expanded my name a little bit, you know what I'm saying, in that room, because I went in there and it's just like, okay, this nigga, he's coming off a deal with Fanta or these people, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. This nigga right here, this is Sir's brother, like shorty over here, she's linked in with Anderson .Paak. This person does this person does that. So for me, I was coming into that room like I'm the nigga with the least amount of shit going on.
Connections and all that shit.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the nigga in the room with the least amount of shit going on according to my knowledge. So I'm like, whenever I get any type of opportunity to where the light is shining on me, even if it is for a second, I gotta show out. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to do in that freestyle segment, and I feel like that's kind of where like I got locked in with the people in which it is that I still talk to now. You know what I mean? But the experience, it was very, very heartbreaking with the way that it ended. Like I said, we had a 14-hour shoot at the end, towards the end of the shoot. Long time, bro. Towards the end of the day, you're sitting in the little cubicle, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, somebody comes in and then they basically just tell you the production's ended. You know, I know there's about 10 of y'all that didn't get to perform, and that sucks, but that's it. We ran out of time for the production, so y'all got y'all hotel room for the rest of tonight and tomorrow, and we're going to send y'all home the day after that, and that was pretty much that. But I got locked in with a couple people based off of that, and I wouldn't change anything about the situation.
Definitely didn't stop you either. So that's
hell no.
And that's something that I feel like that's an experience that you went through it, and it charges you up because you got a taste of that shit. You know what I'm saying? See like what it's like, and like you still got picked out of 100,000 people.
For sure.
That's major shit. So like going through that, and then like now let's fast forward. We're in corduroy time, and that's like we're in corduroy time right now, and you guys are in New York doing shows. And you actually like going to Power, and you mean like Charlamagne and doing interviews on Power. Like how is that?
It was.
How does that make you feel? Like
it was surreal, like for sure. Just because it's like, you know, this is Charlamagne, this is the Breakfast Club and stuff like that. But shout out Nyla Simone, because Nyla Simone is the person that like expressed her interest in my music, and through extension, that's because of Drew. Drew was the person that put me on to Nyla. He was the first person to like submit my music to like her platform at that time, and it was just kind of like divine timing. You know what I mean? Like, she got wind to my music right around the time to where like her hard work started paying off for her. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And now she's doing super great things, and she still decided to, you know, extend her hand to, you know what I mean, interview a nigga like me with a lot less going on when you interviewing people like DaBaby, Jack Harlow, and stuff like that. Like
seasoning you though.
And that's a blessing. Like I don't take none of that type of shit for granted. But I definitely knew I would get to this point. I did.
Okay, so flash question. I get one every single interview. How do you feel like? Do you think it's important to either be in a relationship or be single as an artist?
I feel like it's important to do what's working for you.
Mm.
Like, I mean, you know, a lot of that depends on how you are pushing your brand and stuff like that. If you feel like it intertwines with it to where you want to put that in the face of your brand, you know what I'm saying? Then, and you're comfortable with that, both parties are comfortable with that, then by all means do that. But then you also have people like, you know, J. Cole and stuff like that that don't want their personal life in that
Put
light.
into the public and
You know
stuff.
what I'm saying? Just because you do want to have a personal life. Me personally, I'm more on the J. Cole side of things. Just because it's like you got to give so much of yourself to this game, to this industry, and especially in the realm of hip hop, in which it is that we're associated in.
Yeah.
Vulnerability is something that sells. So you have to decide at what point do we cut that off? You know what I'm saying? At what point do we cut off the access? You know what I'm saying? I enjoy being able to go home to my mom, my pops, my
Keep it
nieces
real
and shit
private
like
with your
that. You know
family
what I'm
and
saying?
stuff,
And,
yeah, and that shouldn't be a problem either.
right, like I'll show them in that aspect in which it is that I'm comfortable and when I want to.
Yeah.
But if I were to get to like an extreme level, I would want to keep that type of shit personal.
Private.
Honestly. Yeah.
That's what's up. So, quarter out. What are the next moves for because the first quarter is over. So, what are the moves moving on for the rest of this year?
Number one is to stop selling the bag on some of these opportunities that I be getting. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. Outside of that, it's just kind of just keeping the work up and realizing that we're not in a climate anymore to where dropping more than one body of work or a lot of music in 1 year is unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? So more music and just more vibes and just more shit to keep up with is pretty much the theme of this year. This is the year of exploration. That's what I've been saying. It's the year of exploration.
This is the year that you are definitely like shining. You already have a song with Mick Jenkins and Hitchcock. You know what I'm saying? So how is it breaking into that? Because now, like, you know, you like you said before, you're getting your name out. You're spreading your name and you're showing them like, yo, I'm supposed
Drew,
to be here
can
too.
you give me another one of those Coronas, bro? Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, how does that make you feel knowing that like you're already like moving up in the ranks and starting to like, you know, chop with your favorite artists? You know what I mean? Because I know you was a fan of of all of them.
Hell
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
I'm a young nigga, but I've been doing this shit for 6 years. So it's like I've had a decent amount of time, you know what I'm saying, like to take my lumps and go through the developmental stage. So it's like the minute I had already decided, the minute that this shit started working out any type of better, you know what I'm saying, and I'm able to put myself in any type of position to make bigger moves happen for myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make those. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what that started with. It was just like you know, taking a chance and doing some shit and just seeing what that resulted in. That was pretty much like the whole theme of that. Like my guys, you know what I'm saying? I consulted a lot of that shit. Like with Suede is where we started a lot of the next level shit.
Yeah.
And I consulted a lot of that shit with my guys, you know what I'm saying, on how we should move about it and if something was smart or if it wasn't, just getting opinions. And everybody just kind of felt like it was time to take that next step. So, like, we did that. And at this point, like, it's proven to be, like, a successful move. It was a smart play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How important is it, like, having a team to, like, be successful?
Oh, I don't know how I'm going to open this. Is there a lighter in here anywhere? Or a bottle opener or something? The importance of having a team. It's mad important just because, like, if you don't have a team, you're not going to flourish. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to, just in the aspect of there's only so much that you can get done by yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much you can get done yourself. And trying to take on too much yourself sometimes can hurt you. You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 minds tapping into a situation is always going to be more beneficial than one, even if you feel like, you know what I mean, oh, I'm this or I'm that or whatever it is. More minds added to a situation is always going to yield more results than it is if there's just one nigga tapped into the situation and he's making all the calls for everything. So without my team, I don't feel like half of the things that go on without my team.
You guys are a family of leaders. You know what I mean? That's
That sounded like a bottle of champagne and it shouldn't have. This is definitely a Corona.
It's definitely a Corona. And like so, and I feel like it's definitely a beneficial thing to navigate with a family of leaders. You know what I mean? Because like none of y'all, like even though there's younger, the age is different between y'all family. No one little bros, you know, are saying none of that. I heard you calling them your big bros the whole entire interview. You know what I'm saying? But I know they don't little bro you. You know what I mean?
Nah, they don't. They actually like if we being real right now, like my whole team has put the ball in my hands in this current moment just because of everything that's going on and the way things are shaping out. It's just kind of like, okay, the universe is in your favor at this current moment, so we're putting all our chips in on you. If the tide changes, you know what I'm saying, and it's in favor of somebody else, then that's what we're going to go with. But right now, the whole team is just kind of like invested in what I have going on. So that's why like I feel like I carry more knowing that like I'm not only trying to open doors for myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to open doors for my team. So when I succeed, my whole team does. And when I fail, I come up short for everybody.
That's fire.
True.
My boy WOP. So what advice would you give to an up-and-coming independent artist who wants to be able to like, you know, be successful? Like what speed bumps would you help them avoid?
The first ones that I could think of right off the top is from day one, just make the music that's in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Just make the music that is being given to you. You know what I'm saying? Make the music that's being given to you, that your spirit is given to you. Just make that. Even if it's not the music that you want to make at that time or where you aspire to be.
Be honest.
Just be honest with where you are at that current time. You know what I'm saying? Aside from that, just like we were talking about with being here, is just realize your dreams, your hopes, and if you're doing music, the career path that you're choosing to jump into is a lot bigger than the place that you live in. Regardless of where that's at. You could be in one of the hubs where everything is going on, but realize like the place that champions you might not necessarily be where you got your feet planted. You know what I'm saying? If you got your feet planted there, don't mean that they have to champion you first. Just like, you know what I'm saying? You done said before, the world don't owe you shit.
The world don't owe you nothing.
The world don't owe you shit at all.
The world don't owe you nothing.
Like, so.
If anything, you owe the world. Like, you got to understand, like, what are you trying to leave here as far as your legacy and your stamp of what you gave, like, the world? You feel me? You're choosing to give it beautiful art, you know what I'm saying, transparent art that can, like, help other people get through what they need to get through just by you being yourself, you know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like is so dope about the music that you and, like, all of JV make, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very, very dope, transparent, vibey music. Like, I get to see it just getting crazier and crazier and crazier, you know what I mean?
Me and Preem got to make an EP, by the way. We got to do that.
You say that shit live on the interview.
I said
We're going to have
live.
to make that happen, you know what I'm saying? Jay WOP EP or something, you know what I mean? We're going to figure out a dope-ass name and shit.
We're gonna feel like we gonna work on that. I guarantee you we not gonna get y'all something.
Nah,
it's half-assed.
We not hard as fuck. Hey, honestly, and I appreciate you so much, bro. I appreciate everything that you do for the culture, for yourself. You know what I mean? Keep going, King. Let everybody know where they can find you at, G, for real.
You can find me on everything at Jay WOP JV, JAYWOP JV on Instagram, on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a Facebook, so you will not find me there. But, you know, Instagram, Twitter, Jay WOP JV, that's where you can find me. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get your ass whooped in 2K, Jay WOP JV on PlayStation.
Who you playing with on 2K?
Who am I running with?
Yeah, what team you gonna run with?
This is gonna catch you off guard. So I run with 2 teams and I whoop niggas' asses with these 2 teams. Boston, obviously, because I'm a Celtics fan. Celtics in 4 against everybody.
They just swept the Nets.
Right.
That shit really happened in real life.
In real time.
Oh
in
my
real time.
God,
And
yo.
I called that shit in real
Katie's
time.
legacy is tainted.
And I called that shit in real time.
That shit is tainted.
But
Oh my God.
aside from the
WOP
Boston
called that shit
Celtics,
before the series started, man. I gotta give him his props.
I run with the Charlotte Hornets. Aside
Yo,
from the Celtics.
What? They're fire, dog. LaMelo?
I run with the Charlotte Hornets, bro. I be
Miles?
cleaning niggas up.
Yo, Miles be rapping. How you feel about Miles rapping?
He gotta stop because he's so good.
Dude,
Like he's like no, like if we being real in terms of like we thought we seen the peak of shit with Damian Lillard,
Yo,
right?
Miles
But
is cold,
Miles
bruh.
Bridges is associated with a different realm of hip hop, and
Whole
he's
different style
he's
of hip-hop.
excelling in it
He's nice
so
in that
much.
shit,
It's like
bro.
okay, you're so good at this, they might start taking your lyrics
Dog,
a little
seriously.
too serious,
Do you
and
think
you
they
need
play
that
his
max.
music in the locker room before
They-
the games?
In the locker room, absolutely. I've seen video proof. I've seen video proof. Terry Rozier be playing his shit in the locker room. I already know how that shit go.
Yo, Miles shit
But in
hard,
the media, if it go too up on the music side, they definitely gonna ask him to tone that shit down.
Yo, that's fat. It make it like Miles. You gonna have to pick one, bro.
And if we being real,
I think
I'm telling, I'm
Dame
wholeheartedly
is cold,
on.
but I think Miles
Nah,
is
Miles
cold.
Bridges got that shit by a stretch.
Yeah.
Like he got that shit. I love.
He don't sound like he
But
forced it or
listen,
none of that shit.
Dame associated himself in a hip hop in a hip hop realm that is a little harder to get yourself
To get
solidified
respect
in.
in.
You know what I'm saying? Where
Yeah.
Miles is in is if you hot, nigga, you hot, and if you can keep that up as long as this, you know what I'm saying, this wave is what's popular in hip hop, nigga, you're a winner. We seen Lil Durk pull it off.
Facts.
We seen the drill, you know what I'm saying, like we seen drill pop off in that time frame in which it was.
And Midwest music, that Michigan music, he runs that style. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Would
And
you ever
Durk
get on a
emerged
beat like
this-
that?
On what, like a drill beat?
No, like a Michigan, like Bay Area type beat. Would you ever float on something like that?
I like those, but the
Yeah.
thing is I'm not a nigga at all that is like I'm not gonna talk about nothing in which it is that I've experienced that I haven't experienced
Facts.
or like that I don't know nothing about.
You
And-
can float on something like that though, huh?
But I definitely know I can. But see, this is the thing. I got respect for niggas that are really doing this shit like at the top level. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas like you know what I'm saying? You got my guy I think that nigga's can't think of his name right now. I think it's Louis Ray. You got Louis
Ray's
Ray.
Fire,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah. You got Louis Ray. You got
Rio
Peasy.
fire,
You got
Peasy
Reezy.
fire.
You got not Reezy. You got Rio. You
Rio,
got my nigga.
free
You got my
Rio,
guy.
man.
You got my guy Babyface Ray.
Yo, Babyface
You got
hard, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you got niggas out there really doing
I
that
feel like
shit.
Arizona could pop off like how Michigan has popped off with their different cities.
The
and
culture is what's missing.
Yeah,
The culture
for
in which
sure,
it is. Like
for sure.
Michigan has such a culture and Detroit has
They
such a
support each
culture.
other. It seems like too. They master, even if they have their own internal whatever. It seems like they master.
I just
support
wish
it.
more niggas out here would live in their reality and embrace however in which it is that sounds. Like, stop trying to make Detroit music. Stop trying to make Chicago music.
Make Arizona
Stop trying to make, you
make
know what I'm
your
saying? Like
music.
New York.
Make
Make
your
your music, nigga. Because at the end of the day, like we gotta, like if we're gonna actually do something, we got talent here. Like if we're gonna actually do something, you gotta solidify it with, like, a sound that captures where you're at. You know what I'm saying? And if we pulling, you know, it's okay to be inspired by niggas. Like that's the name of the game, is being inspired by other people. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
But there's a fine line of being inspired and then it's just like, all right, this isn't even a sound of music that's associated with, you know what I'm saying,
Your
like
region
that.
and your lifestyle.
Your region, you know what I'm saying?
Off is corny.
And we need our own thing. That's what I'm saying. Like that's where things are gonna change because we got a lot of talent here. But once we develop like a legit lock and key type of culture, you know what I'm saying, and we have our own thing, shit is gonna flourish because there's always gonna be people that come in and out of the scene that are gonna be exceptionally talented, that have the potential to be able to excel at the next level. But until we solidify like our culture and bridge that fully, this is not going to be able to go as high as we would like it to in Phoenix. And that's just the truth behind the reality. And I don't care how anybody feels about that.
All right, this is my final question. East Coast hip hop, West Coast hip hop.
West Coast right now. If we're talking like, just because the freshness in the sound. You know what I'm saying? And if we're going West Coast, then that means you have to include people who are in the Midwest and stuff like that. Chicago has a lot of artists that are pushing the limits and pushing the sound and changing things in hip hop. Like you got people like Saba. You have Smino is technically he's technically like he didn't put on for so many different places. He didn't put on. He's from St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken. He's from St. Louis, but he also spent a lot of time in, you know what I'm saying, that Chicago scene, and he has a lot of respect there. He's loved there. He's treated like one of their own. You know what I'm saying? But he's put on for St. Louis. He's put on for Chicago. He's also put on for L.A. just by association of him living out that way for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Who's your favorite LA artist right now?
My favorite LA artist right now is Buddy.
Buddy's fire.
Buddy is transcendent.
Who's your favorite East Coast artist right now?
My favorite East Coast artist, if we're talking East Coast, it's probably between 5E and
that's crazy. I didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah, I love 5E. My favorite rapper.
5E's fire though.
My favorite rapper outside of like the realm that you would expect me to be in is Lil Durk. It's been Lil Durk for like the last 2 years. Outside
of that's what's up, bro.
Outside of
fuck with Durk's new shit.
You talking about the 7220?
Yeah.
Dirk is crazy, bro. He's been crazy. Like he's been crazy. Dirk been crazy since he had the fade.
That's
like niggas don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
Since fucking this ain't what you want.
Nigga, no, I'm talking about since right here.
Oh.
Like nigga, like we finna go back.
That's
like
fire, bro.
But outside of 5E and New York, that shit might be slipping my mind just because like there's a lot of niggas with a New York-esque sound just because like, you know, that's the mecca of hip hop. I don't know if he's from there. I don't know if he is. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't say East Coast. I can't say like East Coast and name a specific nigga outside of 5E. So somebody with that influenced sound, it would probably be between Maxo.
Maxo Cream?
Maxo. Just Maxo.
Okay.
Yeah, just Maxo. It would be between him and
damn, I got WOP with this East Coast question right now.
You got me just because I'm very West Coast inspired.
That's what
like
I'm saying.
a lot of my inspirations, bro. Like if you think my top few inspirations are Buddy, Saba, Vince Staples, Tyler the Creator. Those are all West Coast niggas.
Those are crazy ass and fire ass fucking inspirations.
Those are all West Coast niggas though. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the East Coast is always like I feel like they're always gonna have the upper hand. And if we're talking about like lyricism and stuff like that, because you got Benny.
You think so?
Benny's my favorite from niggas from New York. It took me a second. Yeah, it took me a second, but Benny.
That's all good.
Benny.
Hey, salute to Benny. And honestly, I'm just, with all that being said, I'm glad you got your own style. You know, you're going to be, you know, they're going to be talking about you the same way you talk about those artists. You know what I mean? Like,
we're going to get there.
They inspire you, you inspire others. And I appreciate your contribution and what you're doing, man. And once again, this is the definition of active. I got my man Jay WOP in this motherfucker, the Corduroy King, real shit right here. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Do you have any shows coming up?
I got a lot of shows coming up this year.
Let us know.
Oh, this month I got 3 shows in the month of May. Should have had 4, but I have 3 shows in the month of May, and I definitely know at least 2 of those are selling out. So you should catch those. Definitely should catch those. If you follow my Instagram or my Twitter the way that you should after watching these interviews, you're definitely going to be hip to all of these shows in which it is that I'm talking about. So yeah, we got 3, 4 possibly shows of next month. And yeah, we looking forward to all those. We're gonna rock all of them.
I appreciate you for coming. I appreciate you for fucking with us here. He's way too active. I'm glad I could catch you in your busy schedule, because I know you don't even be out here. So I appreciate you for.
Yeah, you know. My mama live out here, so I be here when I be here. You know what I'm saying? You know.
He gonna hold it down. His mama live out here.
got to. Shout out my nigga Preem, man.
It's love, bro. Always, bro. We're right here, man. Stay like Preem. It's my boy Jay WOP. You know what it is. Definition of active here. Age way too active. We out, motherfucker.
I ain't worried about a nigga unless he talk to me. And I won't run after a bitch until she walk for me. I put my dick inside that bitch and it was all tummy. And I be deep inside the cut until the gauze bloody. But all my niggas around me probably take a charge for me. My cutty rolling with a Drake said you should call 40. Only take the big shots and nigga Rob Horry. My life a movie and your shit look like an Insta story.
Never worry about these niggas or that lame shit. I need the money in the bank, bitch. Told her I'm that nigga. Ain't a bitch a nigga can't hit. I don't even gotta say shit. Rollin' with some niggas and you know we on the safe shit.